You are Locked On Warriors POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports San Francisco on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Locked On Warriors Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR. And tonight, man, the Warriors were heavily tested by the Toronto Raptors, but survived a scary injury to superstar Stephen Curry in the third quarter to come back and win 117-114. And obviously, all eyes and ears are on Stephen Curry going forward. His health is paramount to the Warriors' success. But for tonight, the Warriors, man, Jimmy Butler posted another triple-double. Draymond Green, phenomenal defense with Jimmy down the stretch. And Draymond even cashed in 5 3-pointers. But it was really, as I said, the defense down the stretch that was the ceiling plays of the game for this one. Jimmy with a block with about 17 seconds left to win this game for the Warriors. But they didn't do it alone. The glue guys all stepped up in a big way after Steph went down, and we got a ton to break down tonight. And we'll get to all of it. But first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Sports San Francisco YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Warriors podcast feed. Make sure to check out the Locked On Warriors Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. And as I said, I mean, it really came down to defense, but it was glue guys in everybody. First off, though, before I get ahead of myself, let's talk about Steph. In that third quarter, right? I mean, this is the most important thing you need to know. Steph injured with 3 minutes and 24 seconds left in the third quarter. He was driving hard in the lane, went up for a layup, and just kind of got bodied. And it probably should have been a foul, but it was not called on the floor. Steph hits the floor, and I mean, he landed right on that tailbone. You saw him immediately grab for it, writhing in pain on the floor, and sent to the locker room after consulting with Rick Celebrini. He did not return in this one. The team says he has a contusion, which is basically a bad bone bruise, and we'll see how long he's out for. But hopefully, Steph doesn't miss too much time. The Warriors are going on the road, man, and they're going to need him down the stretch. It is neck and neck in the Western Conference right now, and the Warriors absolutely need 30 if they're going to, hang on to this 6th spot in the Western Conference and avoid the play-in tournament. And you're obviously thinking about maybe catching some of these other teams ahead of the Warriors, but nobody in the West seems to want to lose any basketball games right now. So big moment with Steph going down with the injury, but the rest of the Warriors really stepped up. Draymond Green, man, let's start there because chronologically, he was killing it in the first half. He was the first thing we got to talk about because it happened first. You know what I mean? So 4 threes in the first half for Draymond. 4 threes. He went to halftime with 18 points, finished the game, I think, with 21. He had 5 threes overall for Draymond Green. He did take 14 shots from deep, which I think might be close to his career high for most shots from 3-point range. I know it's definitely top 3, but I mean, tonight, Draymond, 4 steals. He was all over the place. He also had 7 boards and 5 assists. Draymond Green was phenomenal tonight down the stretch defensively. 114 to the Raptors, giving up 114 points to a game that's only won 8 games away from their home stadium all season long. Not really what you want to see, but hey, when it mattered, when guys needed to step up, Jimmy and Draymond Green really stepped up. And down the stretch, man, Jimmy Butler comes up with a huge block with 17 seconds left, and the score 112-109 came over from the weak side after Shed absolutely blew by Brandon Podziemski. Looked like he had a clean layup, easy bucket, like just could moonwalk into the lane is what it looked like. And Jimmy Butler said, no, sir. Slid over from that weak side and blocked that weak S out of here. Came down with his own rebound too. And I mean, wow, just amazing stuff from Jimmy Butler. And that wasn't the only thing he did tonight. He had plenty to talk about. Jimmy did. He had another triple-double for the Warriors, 16 points, 12 assists, and 11 rebounds. He also had 2 steals and 2 blocks, just stuffing that stat sheet tonight. And he hit all those clutch free throws down the stretch. So Jimmy Butler really willing the Warriors to a win tonight. And alongside Draymond Green, like that duo is so incredible right now. They are absolutely on fire defensively. It seems like they're getting better and better, playing off of each other every single day. And it's so fun to watch. Just as a fan, it is super, super, super enjoyable to watch these two guys. Draymond Green even said post-game that Jimmy helps take him to another level defensively. And that leads me to what you'll be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
And what you'll be talking about, honestly, like, yeah, the Steph Curry injury. We know that you will absolutely be talking about the Steph Curry injury. That's a lot of wait and see. What you'll be talking about from this game is Draymond Green and his 3-point shooting, 5 of them tonight. But the main thing is you're going to be talking about his case for Defensive Player of the Year. You heard Draymond talk about it post-game after Milwaukee, saying that he thinks that he deserves to win that Defensive Player of the Year award 1,000% if the Warriors keep winning down the stretch. He says that nobody else impacts the game defensively like he does. And man, I 100% believe this guy. I'm 100% on the Draymond Green Defensive Player of the Year bandwagon, have been since the very beginning of this season. Honestly, like, it should be a lifetime achievement award basically for him at this point. It's a travesty that he's only been awarded one of these in his just stellar defensive career. I mean, you can say what you want about Draymond, the offensive player, but Draymond, the defender, I don't think there's a single guy I would rather have down the stretch than Draymond Green on defense. There's not a single guy in the NBA I would trade that guy for in crunch time, except for maybe Jimmy Butler, and he's on the team too. So, and as I said, Draymond said post-game that Jimmy takes him to another level defensively, and you are seeing it right now, man. Like, this guy has been playing out of his mind lately defensively, and I think some of that's starting to translate to him on offense because, again, 5 3-pointers. Draymond Green, 5 3-pointers. What blanket year am I in right now? Like, this feels like 2016, 2015 when Draymond Green still had working knees. And I mean, he did take 14 shots. I get that, but you'll take that shooting percentage from Draymond Green from downtown. He was 7 of 18 from the field. But I mean, he said post-game too, they were trying to double Steph and just bracket him all night long. And Draymond Green said he was just going to keep shooting that ball until the leather fell off. So he absolutely did that tonight, but it worked out for the Warriors. And this isn't the first time in recent games that we've seen Draymond hit a bunch of threes. And I mean, first half, he's usually a little better from deep, and he's still got his legs underneath him and did cool off in the second half, but still hit a big 3 in the fourth quarter to when the Warriors really needed it. But that brings me to my turning point, man, because tonight's game, I felt like, it was back and forth in the fourth quarter, but really for me, the turning point came a little bit earlier than that.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And the turning point, in my opinion, of this game came in the last 2 minutes of that third quarter. Right after Steph comes out of the game, Warriors look very flat-footed, and the Raptors go down, come up with a big dunk against basically, defense that was just standing there ball watching, which was probably the worst defensive play that the Warriors had all night long, the worst defensive possession. But very next trip down the floor when the Raptors came back down, Quentin Post steps up and comes up with a big block, man. And he immediately starts to, you hear the crowd get into it a little bit, and you could see Posty just waving the crowd on, just encouraging them to just get loud, man, like get Chase Center roaring. And they did. Like, they got so loud, and Draymond Green immediately checked into the game after that, comes up with a steal right away. Then Jimmy Butler comes up with a block. And by the way, Buddy Hield hits a 3 in the middle of all that. And that is how the Warriors ended that third quarter. The game was starting to get away from them a little bit at that point in time. But that sequence where they just took all that, what could have been just like just a death sentence for this team tonight for their chances of winning against the Raptors, which would have been a terrible, terrible loss to end your homestand with that. It would have been, a 5-2 homestand. You're still not going to complain too much about, but you want to see the Warriors win all of the winnable games. And this is absolutely a beatable opponent. The Warriors should beat the Raptors, plenty of, I'm not going to say 10 times out of 10 times, but 8 out of those 10 times they should win against the Raptors. They're still a pro basketball team. They're still pretty good players on that side. But I mean, it was amazing to see the way that this team, it just galvanized them. Like, those moments can go one of two ways. If you're a young team and you don't have leadership, you're probably going to get down on yourself. I don't have Steph Curry out there. What the hell are we going to do? How are we going to score points? This team has, floundered, frankly, in the non-Steph minutes pre-Jimmy Butler. But what happens when you pair a guy like Jimmy Butler with a guy like Draymond Green is that you can lose a superstar like Steph and you can still rally around these other two guys and win a game. And that is exactly, I mean, Quentin Post played a pivotal role in that third quarter. As I said, coming up with that big block. By the way, Post hitting a ton of threes tonight as well. He was, he did have a little bit of a heat check that, missed everything early on in this game, but finished 6 of 9 from 3, 18 points. By the way, Quentin Post already has the most 3-pointers in Warriors franchise history of any player 7 feet or taller. And this guy's played a third of a season. So, I mean, sky's the limit for this guy. And not just because he's 7+ feet tall, but the talent of a Quentin Post is, I think we all underestimated this guy. I have no idea how he slipped all the way down into like the bottom of these teams' draft boards. Like, this guy has been a huge contributor for the Warriors. It's been really, really, really nice. A revelation having a 7-footer on this team. And I think he's given you a little more inside than you've really expected him to give you. I mean, the defensive presence of a Quentin Post is not something that I thought we'd be talking about at all this year. But hey, this guy, I thought all he could do was shoot spot up 3-pointers. He's showing all of us that that's absolutely not just his game. He's not just a one-dimensional guy. He can play both ways. And man, Quentin Post really delivered for the Warriors on that one by getting that block, and 2, by really pumping up the crowd, getting Chase Center back into the game after the life kind of got sucked out of the stadium because everyone was waiting with bated breath to see what would happen with Steph in the injury. Hopefully he's okay going forward. It's a contusion. We will see what unfolds with that in the coming days. The Warriors do have a day off tomorrow before facing the Hawks on Saturday. So that gives him a little bit of time to rest, but with the travel and all that, we'll see if he plays. And my first thought is he probably won't, but hey, I'm not a doctor. So we'll see what happens with Steph. But man, what a win for the Warriors tonight to hang on and survive all of this. Just phenomenal stuff. We got a lot more to get into tonight, like, the player of the game, and obviously more to talk about where the Warriors are going in the West, and plenty to dissect there. Stick with us on the Locked On Warriors postcast. Today's show is sponsored by Robinhood. With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash in non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Investment involves risk. Rate subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. And tonight's show is also sponsored by Game Time. There's nothing like watching basketball live. The energy of the crowd, Chase Center was off the hook tonight. The sound of the sneakers on the hardwood, and maybe even a celebrity sighting courtside. Shout out Tracy Morgan throwing up courtside at the Knicks game the other night. If you want to catch a game in person, Game Time makes getting tickets even easier than ever. Game Time's new feature, Game Time Picks, filters out the fluff and shows you only the best deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time scrolling through thousands of tickets. I just checked the Game Time app, and there's so many amazing deals on some huge matchups coming up, and also plenty of fun shows to hit, not just for sporting events, but concerts too. If you know me, I'm wearing the Grateful Dead hoodie right now. Triple E gets out to some concerts, man. It gives you peace of mind too with seat views before you buy, no surprise fees, and a lowest price guarantee. You can book with total confidence. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Welcome back to the Locked On Warriors postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. Tonight, the Warriors win 117-114, wrap up this homestand with a 6-1 record. Man, this is great news for the Warriors as they need to win basically every game down the stretch. Other good news for the Warriors, the Lakers lost tonight. So gaining a game on them when you absolutely need to, that is good news. If you're scoreboard watching, you got to root for the Pelicans again, who just pulled out a pretty big win of their own to help the Warriors out yesterday. They're gonna play the Timberwolves tomorrow night, so hopefully the Pelicans can do it again and take down the Timberwolves. But the Warriors tonight, man, just a huge effort from everybody all around. But we got to talk about tonight's player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Tonight's player of the game, we could go a bunch of different directions, man, but we're going to go with Jimmy Butler. I mean, Jimmy, another triple-double tonight, as we said, and the game-sealing block down the stretch with about 17 seconds to go. We already broke that down, that weak side help that just, came out of nowhere, soaring out of the sky like Batman and just smash that ball out of here. I mean, get that weak S out of the paint when Jimmy Butler is roaming around. He let everybody on the Raptors know it too. Came down with that rebound even after he blocked the shot, which was a pretty impressive play on its own. But Jimmy was getting everybody involved tonight, man, doing all the little things that you just don't really see on the box score. Like a triple-double is impressive, but Jimmy Butler's play on the court is far more impressive than just looking at a triple-double in the box score. Like 16 points, 12 assists, 11 rebounds. That's nothing to sneeze at. 2 blocks as well, 2 steals as well. But overall, Jimmy Butler really changed this game in the non-Steph minutes, as we always talk about. Without him on this team, the Warriors are dead in the water, man. And with Jimmy Butler, I 100% believe that they are a championship contender. I mean, Jimmy Butler changes how this team plays, and it changes the confidence level of every single player on this team. Quentin Post pitched in 18 points, got a lot of assists from Jimmy Butler that tonight, and Jonathan Kuminga, 16 points, a ton of Warriors in double figures. Pods had a great first quarter, picked up where he left off against the Bucks, and just kept rolling into this game. Had like double digits in that first quarter, finished the game with 15. Everybody all around played a very solid game. Buddy Hield even had 8 big points. He had that one huge three-pointer. He also went 5 of 5 from the free throw line, which was very solid, considering that we've seen a lot of nights that aren't very much like that for Buddy Hield. We've given him a lot of flack on this show this season, but hey, Buddy Hield tonight played within himself, did all the other little things, 5 boards, 4 assists. Everybody on this team contributed to this win in a major way. That's all the time that we got for you guys tonight on the Locked On Warriors postcast. We will not be having a show this weekend on Saturday when the Warriors take on the Hawks, but we will be coming back to you live when they face the Miami Heat on Tuesday. It's a Jimmy Butler revenge game. It's also a very long time for this team to just be hanging around in Miami. That's always a little, you know how NBA road trips in Miami go. So we'll see if the Warriors can keep their wits about them enough to go play basketball while they're in Miami doing a number of other things as well. But hopefully the Warriors can translate some of this success at home into this road trip. Got a lot of big names on the schedule, specifically ending this road trip against the Memphis Grizzlies and the Los Angeles Lakers. 2 huge games coming up for the Warriors once we turn the calendar to April. But as I said, next up, the Atlanta Hawks on Saturday. Tip is at 4 p.m. It's all the time that we got for you guys today. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.